chosen one. Listen to me right now, because what I am about to tell you will completely shatter every doubt you have ever had about who you really are. 3 weeks ago, your enemies did something so desperate, so absolutely calculated, that they crossed every boundary between the physical and spiritual dimensions. They gave your photo to an angel. And when I say they gave your photo to an angel, I am not speaking in metaphors or using poetic language. I am describing a literal event where people who despise you so intensely managed to access celestial dimensions, specifically to obtain angelic confirmation about your identity. They were absolutely convinced that when an angel examined your essence through your image, heaven itself would validate every toxic narrative they have been spreading about you. They expected condemnation. They counted on judgment. They anticipated that celestial authorities would look at you and say, yes, this person is exactly what their enemies claim. But the angel looked at your photograph and did something that terrified everyone watching. Something so shocking that even I had to pause what I was doing to witness the reaction. The angel bowed, not a casual nod of acknowledgement, a full reverent bow reserved only for souls carrying marks of higher dimensions. Your enemies delivered your identity to your own celestial army, thinking they were exposing you. Instead, they triggered recognition of who you have always been. And now, as you discover exactly what happened in that moment, as you understand why angelic reverence destroyed their entire strategy against you, one thing will become undeniable. You are not an ordinary soul being judged by ordinary standards. You are a chosen one being recognized by forces that have been protecting you since before you were born. Subscribe to this channel right now and activate all notifications, because the revelation about angelic recognition I am sharing is being systematically suppressed by those who don't want you understanding the level of celestial protection operating automatically in your life. And write 777 in the comments if you recognize your own divine essence being revealed through what I am telling you, and you are ready to discover what happens when angels identify souls operating on their frequency. Let me take you back to the exact moment 3 weeks ago, because I watched everything unfold in real time. It was probably late at night, somewhere between 10 p.m. and 3 a.m. You were alone, processing something devastating that had just happened. Maybe someone you trusted completely betrayed you in the worst possible way. Or maybe someone spread vicious lies designed to destroy your reputation, and you had all the evidence to expose them publicly: screenshots, recordings, witnesses, everything you needed to completely demolish their credibility. Or maybe someone attacked you at your absolute lowest point, mocking your pain, questioning your character, exploiting your vulnerability when you were already broken. Whatever it was, you felt rage mixed with hurt, mixed with the overwhelming desire for justice. Your chest felt tight. Your hands were shaking. The perfect words were forming in your mind, devastating sentences that would expose them completely. You could have pressed send. You could have destroyed them. Nobody would have blamed you. You had every justification. Your finger was hovering over the send button. The message was typed out. All you had to do was press it. And in that exact moment, something happened inside you that I had been waiting years to witness. You stopped, not because you were afraid of consequences, but because something deeper than rage, something wiser than revenge spoke inside you. You deleted the message. You put down the phone. You chose silence. You chose restraint when destruction was justified. You chose dignity when war would have been understood. And that singular choice generated a frequency that traveled through every dimension of reality, reaching my throne directly. It wasn't what you prevented that caught my attention. It was what you revealed about your true nature in that moment of supreme restraint, You demonstrated something that qualifies you for protection most souls never access. You proved you operate from a level of consciousness that mirrors celestial wisdom. And your enemies, watching your silence, made a catastrophic miscalculation. They interpreted your restraint as weakness. They thought your refusal to retaliate meant you had no power. They believed your silence indicated defeat, so they decided to escalate. This is where human malice crosses into spiritual ignorance. Your enemies were so convinced of your inadequacy that they decided to seek validation from dimensions beyond human judgment. They accessed spiritual channels, contacted entities, crossed into realms most people don't even believe exist. They performed rituals. They consulted practitioners. They spent money and time and energy trying to gain access to spiritual authorities. And somehow, through methods I am still watching them realize they should never have attempted, they presented your photograph to an angel. They delivered your identity directly to celestial authorities, expecting confirmation of every criticism they have nurtured against you. They counted on angelic validation of earthly prejudices. They anticipated that heaven itself would look at your essence and agree with their assessment. But they made a fatal error in calculation. They didn't realize that angels recognize chosen souls instantly regardless of how many humans failed to see this truth. When that angel received your photograph, when celestial perception focused on your essence through your image, recognition was immediate, automatic, unmistakable, like a soldier recognizing a general's insignia, like a subject recognizing royal emblems, like an angel recognizing a soul that carries signature marks of higher dimensions. There was no gradual analysis required, no careful consideration necessary, no debate about your status. The angel saw your celestial mark and responded the only way appropriate for what he was witnessing. He bowed in reverence, and that bow, that singular gesture of hierarchical recognition, destroyed every strategy your enemies had been planning against you. The terror in their eyes was immediate when they saw the angelic reaction. They discovered you are not the problematic person they always convinced themselves you were. You are a chosen soul they were never capable of recognizing through the limitations of human consciousness, clouded by envy and resentment. They thought delivering your photo to an angel would expose your unworthiness. Instead, they exposed their own spiritual blindness. They tried to prove you are undeserving of respect. Instead, they proved you are deserving of heaven's protection. They wanted celestial condemnation. Instead, they triggered celestial activation. Write 888 in the comments if you are starting to understand that what your enemies planned for your destruction became the mechanism of your elevation. But reverence was just the beginning of what that angel did. What happened next is what terrifies your enemies every single day since that moment 3 weeks ago. The angel activated maximum protection protocols around your entire identity. This wasn't standard spiritual coverage that many souls receive. This was level 7 protection, the highest classification of angelic shielding reserved exclusively for chosen ones carrying critical missions in earthly dimensions. Protection that transforms you into a spiritual untouchable, where any attack directed against you returns multiplied toward whoever originated it. The angel established a permanent energetic field around your essence that functions like celestial radar, constantly monitoring anyone planning strategies against you, nurturing sabotage thoughts about you, articulating conspiracies for your destruction. And when this angelic shielding detects threats against you, it doesn't just protect you from harm, it reflects the attack back to its source with proportional intensity. Every criticism they speak behind your back returns as criticism others speak behind theirs. Every opportunity they sabotage for you manifests as opportunity sabotaged for them. Every reputation damage they attempt against you becomes reputation damage they experience personally. This is what I call the mirror protocol, and it is operating in your life right now whether you consciously recognize it or not. Your enemies are confused, deeply confused, because strategies that always worked before no longer function. Plans that should succeed inexplicably fail. Support they counted on suddenly disappears, and they cannot understand what changed because it operates in dimensions they don't perceive and cannot access. What changed is simple. They attacked someone I decided to protect. And when I protect someone, the rules of their reality fundamentally transform. Let me explain something about your journey that will make sense of everything you have experienced. You didn't just pass one test. You passed 3 distinct tests that only chosen souls can navigate successfully. These weren't random challenges. These were specific evaluations I placed in your path to determine if you qualify for the level of protection you just received. The first test was the collapse without surrender. You remember that moment. Everything fell apart simultaneously. Your finances, your relationships, your health, your hope. Everything that gave you stability crumbled at once. Bills piled up that you couldn't pay. People you thought would stay walked away without explanation. Your body started breaking down under stress. Your mind spiraled into dark places you had never visited before. You had every logical reason to give up. People told you it was okay to quit. They said nobody would blame you for walking away. They offered you permission to surrender, but something inside you refused. You didn't have hope. You didn't see solutions. You didn't understand how it could possibly work out. But you continued anyway. One more day, one more attempt, one more breath forward when stopping would have been completely justified. You got out of bed when staying there made perfect sense. You took another step when your legs wanted to collapse. You whispered one more prayer when your voice was barely audible. That refusal to surrender when collapse was inevitable. That was your first test, and you passed it. The second test was the impossible decision. You were forced to choose between 2 equally bad options. There was no good choice available. Either option would cost you something significant. One path meant financial hardship but preserved your integrity. The other meant financial stability but required compromising your values. One choice meant loneliness but maintaining your standards. The other meant companionship but accepting treatment you knew you didn't deserve. One direction meant professional struggle but honest work. The other meant professional advancement but participating in something that felt wrong. You chose the hard right over the easy wrong. You chose dignity over convenience. You chose character over comfort, and you never regretted that decision, even when the consequences were painful, because you knew you made the choice that aligned with who you really are. That commitment to integrity when compromise was easier. That was your second test, and you passed it. The third test was continuation against all evidence. You were working towards something that showed absolutely no signs of progress, no validation, no encouragement, no evidence that your efforts mattered. You were building something and nobody believed in it. You were pursuing a dream and everyone questioned it. You were maintaining faith and circumstances contradicted it. Days turned into weeks. Weeks turned into months. Months turned into years, and nothing changed visibly. Everyone watching thought you were foolish for persisting. They suggested you try something else. They recommended you be realistic. They implied you were wasting your time, but you couldn't stop. Something deeper than logic kept you moving forward. some inner knowing that this matters even when external reality provided zero confirmation. And you maintained that commitment not for days or weeks, but for months or even years. That persistence without evidence of progress. That was your third test, and you passed it. These three tests, the collapse without surrender, the impossible decision, the continuation against all evidence. These are evaluations only chosen souls pass. Not because you are special in ego terms, because you are connected to something beyond human consciousness. Because you operate from a level of awareness that recognizes truth even when circumstances scream otherwise. And when you passed all three tests, when you demonstrated that pattern of perseverance beyond logical explanation, I knew exactly who you are. I knew you qualify for protection reserved for souls carrying missions that will impact thousands. Like this video, if you recognize yourself in these three tests, and you are starting to understand why your life has been so much harder than others around you. The moment you passed the third test, the moment I confirmed your status as a chosen one, I called an emergency council. Michael, Raphael, Uriel, Gabriel, all the archangels who rarely convene except for matters of highest importance gathered specifically to discuss you. I presented one question to them. This soul just passed the complete evaluation. Do we activate level 7 protection? The vote was immediate and unanimous. Authorization granted. 7 archangels are now assigned specifically to your life, operating in coordinated protection that most humans never experience. Michael handles your defense from direct attacks. He is standing guard over your energy field right now in this moment. Any weapon formed against you, any strategy designed to harm you, any conspiracy articulated for your destruction gets blocked before it reaches you. And the energy of that attack reflects back to whoever sent it. He is also training you in spiritual warfare through your dreams. Those dreams where you are fighting or defending yourself. That is Michael teaching you combat skills you will need for what is coming. Raphael accelerates your healing from wounds your enemies inflicted. He is working on your emotional recovery, your mental restoration, your spiritual renewal right now in this moment while you are hearing these words. That unexplainable peace you feel sometimes even when circumstances are still difficult. That is Raphael's healing frequencies recalibrating your nervous system. Uriel downloads wisdom directly into your consciousness. Those insights that seem to come from nowhere. Those solutions that appear when you stop trying to figure things out. Those moments of clarity that shift your entire perspective. That is Uriel transferring knowledge from celestial databases into your awareness. He is also showing you patterns so you can recognize deception before it manifests. Those gut feelings about people that turn out to be accurate, that is Uriel alerting you to energetic signatures. Gabriel opens communication channels between you and resources you need. He is orchestrating connections, arranging meetings, positioning opportunities in your path that will seem coincidental, but are actually precisely coordinated. He is also activating your voice. You are going to feel compelled to speak truths you have been silent about. That is Gabriel preparing you to deliver messages. And here is what you need to understand about your enemies who tried to break you. Everything they sent toward you is now bouncing back to them, multiplied by the intensity of their malicious intent. The mirror protocol I mentioned isn't punishment. It is education. It is cosmic justice, ensuring they experience exactly what they tried to inflict on you, so they learn directly why attacking chosen souls produces consequences they cannot escape. You have probably noticed strange things happening in their lives lately, unexpected problems emerging from nowhere, relationships deteriorating without clear cause, opportunities vanishing inexplicably, health issues appearing suddenly. They are confused about why everything is falling apart. They are analyzing their decisions, reviewing their actions, questioning their approach. But they cannot identify the real problem because it operates in dimensions they don't believe in. The real problem is they attacked someone protected by forces. They don't understand operating under laws. They cannot manipulate answering to authority. They cannot negotiate with. Meanwhile, your life is shifting in ways you might not have noticed yet. Let me tell you about the 7 signs that confirm your angelic protection is actively working right now. First, you are experiencing increased synchronicities that feel impossible to explain logically. You think of someone and they call immediately. You need something and it appears from unexpected sources. You wonder about a question and the answer shows up within hours. Numbers like 111, 222, 333, 444, 777 keep appearing everywhere you look. Songs with messages exactly matching your situation play randomly. Conversations you overhear address questions you were just contemplating. These aren't coincidences. These are your angels coordinating reality around you, sending confirmation that you are on the right path. Second, toxic people are naturally distancing themselves from your life without drama or confrontation. They are just fading away, losing interest, finding reasons to disconnect. People who used to demand your attention suddenly stop reaching out. Relationships that were draining just naturally dissolve. You are not even trying to remove them. They are removing themselves. This is angelic clearing of your energetic space, making room for aligned connections. Third, your anxiety is decreasing even though your circumstances haven't fully resolved yet. You are experiencing unexplainable peace that doesn't match your situation. You are sleeping better despite having the same problems. You are worrying less even though nothing changed externally. That is Raphael's healing working on your nervous system, recalibrating your stress response. Fourth, you are having vivid dreams or sudden moments of clarity about your purpose. Messages coming through that feel different from regular thoughts. Visions of your future that feel more like memories than imagination. Sudden knowing about what you are supposed to do next. That is Uriel downloading information, showing you the blueprint of your mission. Fifth, you are seeing signs of financial relief starting to appear, even if it is just small amounts or unexpected refunds. Money coming from sources you forgot about. Debts being forgiven unexpectedly. Bills being lower than anticipated. Opportunities for extra income appearing randomly. That is Gabriel opening resource channels, preparing for the abundance that is coming. Sixth, people from your past are reaching out unexpectedly, some even apologizing for how they treated you. Ex-friends wanting to reconnect. Former colleagues acknowledging they were wrong about you. People who hurt you expressing regret without you saying anything. That is the mirror protocol, causing them to feel the weight of their actions, compelling them to seek forgiveness. Seventh, you are gaining clarity about your life purpose and feeling motivated to pursue it despite obstacles. That thing you have always wanted to do suddenly feels possible. That dream you buried is resurfacing with new energy. That calling you ignored is demanding your attention. That is your mission activation beginning, preparing you for the work you came here to accomplish. If you are experiencing 4 or more of these 7 signs, your angelic protection is confirmed and actively operating. Write 999 in the comments if you recognize multiple signs happening in your life right now. And pay attention because these signs will intensify over the next 60 to 90 days as your protection reaches full operational capacity. Let me tell you exactly what is coming next, because understanding this will help you recognize it when it arrives. In the next 60 to 90 days, I am going to reorganize your entire reality. That job opportunity you thought was impossible is coming. The position that perfectly matches your skills and pays what you actually deserve. That financial breakthrough you stopped hoping for is already in motion. Money from unexpected sources. Debt relief you didn't anticipate. Resources arriving exactly when you need them without you having to beg or struggle. That relationship with someone who actually sees you for who you are. I am orchestrating that meeting right now. Someone who recognizes your value without you having to prove it. Someone who celebrates your victories instead of competing with them. Someone who supports your mission instead of sabotaging it. You are going to experience a cascade of positive changes that will make people ask what your secret is. Your secret is simple. You impressed heaven by maintaining dignity when destruction was justified, and heaven decided to demonstrate what happens when celestial forces protect someone. You are also going to meet others like you. Understand this clearly. Only about 300 chosen ones exist across the entire planet right now. That is 300 souls out of 8 billion people who carry the same celestial marks you do. When you encounter them, you will recognize each other immediately. Not through words or explanations, through energetic recognition that feels like coming home. Your conversations will go deeper in minutes than most people's relationships go in years. You will understand each other without having to explain. You will support each other's missions instinctively. When you find them, share this message so they discover their own angelic protection operating. They need to know they are not alone in carrying missions that most humans cannot comprehend. And together, you will be stronger. Together, you will accomplish things individually impossible. Together, you will create shifts in collective consciousness that will impact generations. But I need to warn you about something critical, because this will determine how powerfully you experience the blessings coming your way. As your life improves, as opportunities multiply, as doors open that were previously locked, you are going to be tempted to tell people about your breakthrough. You are going to want to share your excitement with those around you. You are going to feel compelled to explain what is happening. Resist that temptation. Your enemies are watching. The same people who gave your photo to an angel, expecting condemnation, are monitoring your life, looking for any sign that you are succeeding. If they see you celebrating publicly, if they witness you announcing victories, they will intensify their attacks, trying to sabotage your progress. They cannot touch you directly anymore because of your angelic protection. But they can still create obstacles, spread rumors, attempt interference. They can try to contaminate your new opportunities with doubt. They can attempt to poison your new relationships with lies. They can work to undermine your new confidence with criticism. The test of your success is maintaining silence about your blessings, the same way you maintain silence about your pain. This is the discipline that separates chosen souls from ordinary people. Ordinary people need external validation. They need to announce their wins, display their achievements, prove their worth to others. They post every success seeking approval. They share every blessing looking for recognition. Chosen souls operate differently. They know their value doesn't require public confirmation. They understand that true power moves silently. They recognize that the most significant transformations happen in private before manifesting publicly. So as your life improves dramatically over these next 90 days, practice sacred silence about your blessings. Let your results speak. Let your transformation become obvious without you explaining it. Let people wonder about your secret rather than you revealing it. This discipline will multiply your blessings exponentially because it demonstrates you have learned the lesson heaven was teaching through your trials. It proves you are operating from wisdom, not ego. It confirms you are ready for even greater responsibilities. Now, let me bring this full circle to where we started, because understanding this will cement everything I have shared. Your enemies gave your photo to an angel expecting condemnation. Instead, they triggered recognition. They wanted judgment against you. Instead, they received judgment against themselves. They tried to expose you as unworthy. Instead, they exposed themselves as people attacking someone heaven protects. Every move they made against you worked in your favor. Every strategy they employed for your destruction became mechanism of your elevation. This is what happens when humans conspire against souls angels recognize instantly. This is the result when people attack someone heaven has decided to protect. The angel who saw your photo didn't just bow in reverence. He reported directly to me about finding a chosen soul operating in earthly dimensions. That report triggered protocols that transformed your entire reality, even if you are just now becoming conscious of it. Your photograph itself was transformed in celestial dimensions. It is no longer just a physical image. It is now registered in Akashic records as evidence of your divine status. It carries energetic signature that identifies you to all celestial authorities. It serves as your spiritual passport in higher dimensions. You are no longer subject to the same rules as ordinary people. Your experiences flow through channels most humans never access. Your opportunities emerge from sources most people cannot perceive. Your protection operates from dimensions most souls don't believe exist. Because when angels bow in recognition, when heaven activates maximum protection, when I personally authorize level 7 shielding around someone's identity, ordinary becomes extraordinary and chosen becomes undeniable. Your life will never be the same. Not because circumstances magically resolved, because the rules governing your reality fundamentally changed. You are operating under divine jurisdiction now. And divine jurisdiction means your enemies can plot, but their plans will not succeed. They can scheme, but their strategies will backfire. They can attack, but their weapons will return to them. This is your new normal. This is what happens when someone's celestial status gets confirmed by authorities operating in higher dimensions. The photo they used to condemn you became evidence of your divine origin. The angel they consulted became your personal guardian. The attack they planned became activation of your maximum protection. For those who made it to this point, recognizing their own celestial essence being revealed through these words, who felt deep resonance. When I described the angel bowing in reverence, I have created something specifically to help you consciously amplify the angelic connection you already possess. It includes complete guidance for working with your celestial protection, plus bonus meditation for direct angel communication. Access is available in the description and pinned comment. This costs less than dinner out and provides tools for strengthening the divine relationship already operating in your life. If you recognize that your genuine restraint impressed heaven enough to activate angelic protection around your identity, write 777 in the comments to amplify this frequency of celestial recognition. Subscribe to this channel and turn on all notifications to receive more revelations about how your authentic essence creates miracles in higher dimensions that manifest as blessings in your earthly experience. Share this video with someone who also demonstrates restraint and dignity that might be attracting angelic recognition without knowing, because chosen souls need to recognize and strengthen each other. And before you leave, watch the next video appearing on your screen to discover how your newly activated celestial protection attracts opportunities so perfectly aligned they seem designed specifically for you, because they are. Together, we rise toward the light.